More FUD for me to talk about. You guys, there's FUD coming out about USDC. I'm going to talk about if you should pay attention to it, if it's real or if it's fake. First, hit the like button if you guys are enjoying these and you're learning something and you're enjoying this bear market. Second, hit subscribe and check out the CT Club down below to figure out how we are dealing with this bear market with the cryptos that we are owning. My name is Heidi. This is Crypto Tips. And so today we're going to talk about USDC. There's a guy on crypto Twitter, goes by the name Crypto Insider 23. Is that a callback to Michael Jordan? I don't know. Is he the greatest of all time? I don't know. So he came up with this tweet a few days ago saying, making some allegations and providing some sources, but not really, over the things he was saying. Basically, he was alleging that that Circle, the company who manages the creation and burning and the supply and the reserves for the stablecoin USDC, centralized stablecoin. So Circle takes these reserves. He's alleging that Circle takes the reserves of USD and deposits them into these banks and pays 5% interest to deposit these banks into these banks, which actually is reverse, because unless you're in Germany, there is not negative interest rates. You're actually getting paid 5% on the reserves. That's actually one of the revenue sources for Circle. And then he was also alleging that that these banks had then lent USDC out to troubled platforms like Celsius, Three Arrows Capital, and BlockFi. Are those ringing any bells? How that connection between USDC being lent to these people who are in default or insolvent, how does that affect overall the market cap of USDC? I don't know, because again, the reserves are there. And USDC, ever since, here's the thing, Tether, USDC, and BUSD are all trying really hard to market themselves as being not UST, as being regulatory compliant, as being transparent in their reserves and how they are, what they're comprised of. So going back to the situation of if, Circle had lent out USDC to these failing projects, how does that directly affect the value of USDC? Because again, the reserves are still there. If anything, it wouldn't. So this FUD for me is unfounded, and I will provide a link down below if you guys want to check out this tweet thread and read the responses and the replies of a lot of people who have also debunked it or don't believe it. But if this FUD has inspired in you a new fear that nowhere is safe, always remember that it is completely possible for you to diversify your portfolio and to diversify the stable coins that you are holding. If you are in USDC because you were escaping the FUD of USDT, also known as Tether, and now you're not so sure about USDC, even though this may or may not be true, and USDC may or may not be able to survive a bank run, which, by the way, they have been able to redeem like $3 billion a week and up to $17 billion redemption a month. So very similar to the numbers that Tether has been coming out with. If that's still not enough for you, BUSD functions very similarly to USDC in that they are regulatory compliant and they are very transparent in what their reserves are comprised of. I'm going to get into that in the next video comparing USDC and BUSD, but this is me saying it's FUD. I don't think it's a direct truth of what's happening with Circle. They did admit in 2021 that they were going to be reporting a $75 million loss for that year. But guess what else they did? They also accepted a $400 million investment from BlackRock. And BlackRock is going to be acting as their asset manager for their USD reserves. So for those of you who aren't into BlackRock and you want to avoid that as best you can, maybe BUSD is better for you. Again, check out the next video coming up and I'll be talking all about it. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button, hit subscribe. I'll see you soon.